Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, Leo sent me Lion Girl, and this 2023 film was directed by Kurando Mitsutake and stars Tori, Griffith, Derek Mers, and David Sakurai, among others, of course. The story of this movie takes place in a world that's been destroyed, and it's been destroyed in such a way where meteorites have rained down on Earth and have destroyed all of the land except Tokyo City. It is the last remaining island on the whole world, and so that's where our story takes place, and it follows our main character, and she has like these superpowers that allow her to transform into Lion Girl. And she transforms and then fights these demons, which come from the meteorites, or maybe people get too close to the meteorites and then this demon possesses them. And so she has to take on all these different demons, as well as the warlord that has taken over Tokyo. Will she be able to do all of this and, prevail in the end? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's talk about this movie. So what works with it? Well, I gotta say, I had quite a bit of fun with this one. This one is a Japanese one, and Japanese movies can kind of be strange sometimes, and it's certainly taking from that genre where just, random things happen. It kind of reminds me of like Kamen Rider or Power Rangers even. I know that's, not a Japanese show, but, inspired by Japanese shows. And it certainly has that feeling to it here. It's just general, nonsense that you come across on the internet with all this stuff, and it is a lot of fun. The Lion Girl herself is a fun character. She has this transformation and she's quite the superhero with her little powers. There is the demons, and the demons look really cool. They just have like makeup on and like these prosthetic horns, and they look really good. The bad guys, they have really cool costumes as well. Everyone just has a fun costume, which is what you kind of expect from this genre. So there is quite a bit of things that you can watch this one and enjoy. In addition, this feels of like an evolution of the genre, that being, Japanese superhero films. And it's really cool that way. They film it all in California, which is not typical of, Japanese films. And so all of the settings and all of the scenery is just like California desert or California grasslands. And it's supposed to be like a ruined Tokyo. So it's kind of satiric that way. And it's also supposed to be like Tokyo is just an island. So there's no water around. You never see water, which is, again, kind of plays off that satirical element to it. They are also using American actors, or at least actors in America, so they're all speaking English. They do have a few Japanese lines here or there from Japanese characters, but it's just like fun that way. Like I enjoy just having it in English as well. I don't mind subtitles, but it just kind of seems like it's more for a broader audience, more for a kind of a Western audience. So it has this kind of evolution aspect built into it. So it's one of those things, if you're like a Western otaku, which just kind of means a geek, you could certainly turn this one on, especially if you like this genre, and you will enjoy it that way. Also, the music kind of adds to the atmosphere that it's going to, especially with kind of the shooting being in like reds and blues sometimes, or kind of having this orange tint to it. It's kind of like this, 80s kind of synth pop type of ambiance sound to it. It does get a little bit samey here or there, but it certainly does add to the atmosphere of it all. So that just helps you get sucked into it. So that is also, one thing that really stands out as a positive in this one. Furthermore, I thought all of the actors did a great job in this one. There were a few times where I thought maybe their facial responses were not quite appropriate for the situation, but that is a small minority of what is in this movie. The majority of it is really kind of good acting, intense acting. Some people might think it's a little bit hammy or OTT, but I think that comes with the nature of the genre being what it is. So all of the acting is really good too. I really liked the look of all the actors, and I think they've been casted in such a way where they go for a certain body type or facial type, and it works for what it is. So seeing them on screen, I really did enjoy all of them. I didn't think there was a single character I didn't like, so that is certainly a big positive. And also, this movie does have quite a bit of satire in it, which I just love satire. I don't know why. And this one does it just kind of like other movies of the genre, where they have like not a commercial, but in this case they have like a news segment, and the news segment is just this guy, and he always ends it with like the whatever the warlord says, and the warlord has this motto, and it's like don't live forever, die while working. Or what does it say? Oh, don't live long. That's it. Don't live long, die while working. And that's like the motto of everyone in this, dystopian future here. And so it is, lots of fun that way. And so there's many different elements, like I've been telling you, that certainly go into this one to make it for an enjoyable watch. What else can I say about this movie? Well, I think it has some type of artistic qualities to it. And I know some people out there don't really like artistic movies, but this one has just elements of it, and they do it in such like an odd way. I would say it's like oddly satisfying even at points. At other points, it's just like, there's no reason to have it. What it is that there's lots of nudity in this one too. Like characters will just like lose their clothes. Like it'll be like a frame for frame thing. It's just like one frame they'll have clothes, one frame they won't. And I think it's supposed to be like a metaphor for, oh, now they're defenseless, or they have no armor or something like that, or they're completely helpless at this moment because of shock. So they lose all their clothes to be a metaphor for that. And it's one of these things where if you like this genre, part of your attraction to it is just how strange it all is. And this one certainly has that strange element to it. And it is really kind of odd how they do it. Like there's one point where I guess it's like not a dream, but like an internal monologue, but it's the person standing there naked, and then another person's face is like projected onto their torso, and the person's saying like these really kind of crazy things. And so it's odd, it's strange, and that's what you love about it. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this movie. Well, with a lot of these things, it will come down to taste. This genre is certainly not for everyone. You have to be ready to see something ridiculous. You have to be ready to see something crazy, because all of that is in here, that's for sure, especially with that arty quality to it. If you don't like just random nudity or just nudity for no reason, then this is probably not going to be the movie for you. That arty quality is not really going to get it. The satire might be seen as a little extreme, and like the satire I mentioned was just one of the less extreme ones, actually. So it'll be a turnoff for anyone who isn't already familiar with this genre. There is also some little nitpicks that just personally I don't enjoy. Like they have a large exposition jump just at the beginning, but I don't see any other way of really getting around that, so that kind of works. But if you don't like just being told stuff, it's not going to work for you. They also, and this is just me, but the first scene and the last scene are the same. Like they start at the last scene where she's killing some demons, and then that's also the first scene, and it just explains how she gets there in the whole movie. And I'm just like, that is just such a kind of redundant way of storytelling, I think. And so that didn't work for me. What else? The movie is also like almost 2 hours long, so it does kind of overstay its welcome in some scenes, and it is fun while you're watching it. Just you have to have that big chunk of time really to kind of really enjoy it. So if you don't have that, if you're like constantly interrupted, I think won't really find it that interesting. So just watch it, 2 hours, but again, that's quite long, so make sure you're well hydrated or whatever. And yeah, I kind of think that's down to personal preference. So if you don't prefer this style of movie, don't watch it. As for my recommendation, well, if you're a Western otaku who enjoys Japanese superhero movies, then you can certainly press play on this one. It's everything you've come to know and love, just in English, so why not? If you're just looking for like a silly, fun action superhero thing, you certainly could press play on this one. I'm not sure if that artistic quality will get in the way for you or not, but if you think you can, then yeah, go press play on this one. As for a rating, well, it was pretty fun when it comes down to it, so I'm going to give it this 6.7. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.